In the last few weeks, we have been learning about Moshe Rabbeinu, become the leader of Am Yisrael. And we know he turned out to be the greatest leader of all time. I feel that I should point out that he was the youngest of 3 siblings. So Tzafia and Danya, watch out. סליחה לכל הדוברי העברית על האנגלית. אני רוצה לכבד את כל המשפחה שלי שטרחו להגיע מחוץ לארץ. Thank you, everyone, from coming from near and far. I very much appreciate it. Especially from England, we have Ellie and Joey, Sammy and Danny, and we miss Rachie very much, who couldn't come. Josh and Dahlia, Debbie and Dov and their kids, and welcome to Grandma, Auntie Susan, and Uncle Tony, Nicholas and Efra and their kids, and Mandy and her kids. Grandma, I love coming to England and waiting for my smoked salmon sandwiches. It's the highlight of my day, and I love spending time with you. And I am so sorry that I never got the chance to meet my grandpa. I am sure he would have been so happy to be here today. I have heard lots of wonderful things about him from my daddy. Welcome to Safta and Zeda, who live here with us in Israel. Safta and Zeda, I love coming to Jerusalem and being with you, and I am so excited to move to Jerusalem so I can spend more time with you. Grandma Fanny, whenever we stay with you for Shabbos, it's always so fun because we have to walk up and down 10 floors each time. And I love seeing you when we come to Jerusalem. I had wanted to be able to welcome Bobby, but sadly she was not well enough to make the trip, so we all sent her refuah shlema. I love that Daniel and Debrili live down the road with my cousins Mayan, David, Amichai, Eli, and Avia. And of course Archie, who I am totally not afraid of. Not. And up in the Ramah, we have Michali and Michael and Yoeli, Levi, Sarah, Shaya, and Akiba. And Eza and Shoshana and Mea, Yaakov, Racheli, Elia, Shu, and Tzvi. That I love being with and eating Friday night and walking home after the meal. And from Jerusalem, Benji and Gila and Hadassah, Elia, Israel, Mea, and Libby. I also wanted to say thank you to Meiri and Lizette, who have been a great support. Mommy, you drive me crazy. In a good way. Mommy, you always make me smile. Thank you for all the work you have done for my Bat Mitzvah. I know I drove you crazy with all what I wanted, and you have done a great job, and I love you so much. Daddy, you are too obsessive with the way you make soup. It's just soup. It doesn't matter how you cut the vegetables. It's going to get judged. Daddy, I love spending time with you. I love having Daddy and Maya time, and learning with you was so much fun. And thank you so much for all the organizations for my Bat Mitzvah. I love you so much. Sophia, books, books, books. You are always reading books, and then you say weird words that you learned in your books. And then you think we're stupid because we don't understand you. I love it when you do my makeup, and you bring very fun stuff into the family, like salads. But I love you. Danya, whenever we go on a holiday, we can think of lots of fun stuff to do. But the first word I hear from you is shopping, shopping. I need to go here, I need to go there, and after a whole day of this, you say it's not enough. Danya, I love coming home from school and seeing you some of the times, and telling you about my day. You give me good advice, and I love you. I don't have a favorite older sister because neither of you will let me sit in front of the car. Thank you for that. My daddy and I have been learning about Tzar Baale Chaim. I remember when we started out with the Rambam. My dad read to me this whole big pile of words. And at the end, he said, "What do you understand from that?" And when I didn't have an answer, I asked him, "What was that all about?" He said, "How am I meant to know?" However, with Rabbi Bromanda's help, we did make some progress. The reason I chose to learn about Tzar Baale Chaim is I thought my daddy would get the hint and surprise me by giving me a dog while I give my Dvar Torah. So here is my drasha based on what we learned together. And whoever's afraid of dogs, look out. Tzar Baale Chaim. Our learning was from a few different sources. We learned from Torah, Gemara, Rambam, Rav Kook. In the Torah, we learned about the mitzvah of helping your friend, whose animal is struggling with his load, as it says in the famous pasuk, "V'italamta mehem hekam takim imo." So far, nothing about Tzar Baale Chaim. The Gemara in Bat Mitzva explains what we have to do and tells us that we have to first unload the animal, let the animal stand up, and then help our friend reload the animal. However, the Gemara gets into an argument about the differences between loading and unloading and brings us to a proof of this argument, of the mitzvah of Tzar Baale Chaim. And even according to some opinions, it mentions that it is Mina Torah. So we see that not only there is the mitzvah of Tzar Baale Chaim, but it might even be Mina Torah. The Kesef Mishnah on the Rambam tells us that the Rambam thinks that Tzar Baale Chaim is Mina Torah. But the Kesef Mishnah is very complicated, so you're going to just have to take my word for it. The Rama in the Shulchan Aruch writes that humans are allowed to use animals for their needs, like experiments for medications, which is pikuach nefesh of a kind, because the sick person is not there at the time. But I don't agree that's right, which brings me into Harav Kook. Harav Kook, who was a vegetarian except on Shabbos, believed that it is natural that we treat animals with respect, as he says, "Simat ayin lemishpatam shel Baale Chaim b'mela muvan." He believed that inside every single person there is a feeling that we have to care for the animals. Just in some people, the feeling is hidden away, but it still exists, he believes. One of the ways Harav Kook proves that Tzar Baale Chaim exists is with the story from the Gemara about Rabbi Yehuda Hanasi. He was taking a sheep to be shechted when the sheep tried to escape. He laughed at the sheep, saying, "Where do you think you're going?" Rabbi Yehuda continued and laughed at the sheep, saying, "To be killed is the reason why you were created." For this he was punished. The Gemara explained how the punishments were removed. His cleaner was cleaning up and brushing away some baby weasels. Rabbi Yehuda told her not to and to leave them alone. That's when his punishment ended. The Gemara quotes Tehillim. Tov Hashem lekol v'rachamav al kol ma'asav. Hashem is good to everybody. Hashem has mercy on all his creations, including the animals. Rav Kook finishes by saying Adam Rishon was not allowed to eat meat. Yet later on Noach his children were. Rav Kook asks, how can Hashem can allow a world to eat meat when we see in a perfect world eating meat is not allowed? The answer he gives is that things take time and eventually we will return to not being allowed to eat meat. So Goldmans and Arnolds, enjoy your steaks while you can. Thank you very much. I hope you all enjoy my party.